In this lesson, I will show you how you can copy or move cells from one area to another inside the same worksheet to different worksheets and even to different workbooks. The process is no different from what you may already know from any Windows application such as Word, or even the way you can copy or move files and folders. It's the well-known process of copy and paste when you want to copy something, or cut and paste when you want to move something. There are some details here in Excel you should be aware of, but let's see all this in practice. The first thing you need to do when you want to copy or move a range of cells is to select them. So I will first select the range that I want to copy, and let's say that I want to copy it right below, starting from cell A12. So I will right-click on the selected range, and I will click on copy because I want to copy the data and not move them. Another way to do it is to click on the copy tool here on the clipboard palette. It's the same thing. The last and most efficient way to do it is by pressing the Ctrl and C combination on the keyboard to make the copy. Generally, knowing the Ctrl and C combination is quite useful in Windows, so it's a good idea to memorize that. Now that I have copied my data, I will need to choose where I want to paste them, so I will click on cell A12, and I can either press the Ctrl and V combination on the keyboard, or I can click the Paste tool on the clipboard palette. Notice that the Ctrl and V shortcut appears as soon as I leave the mouse over the Paste tool. And of course, I can also do it with the right click on cell A12, where I have more options. As you can see, there are many different paste options to choose from. For example, I can paste only the values, I can paste only the formulas, and there are more options that are very powerful but are not part of this series of lessons. You will learn this if you choose to continue to the advanced level courses. What I'm interested in here is the first option, the simple paste, which gives me the same result as clicking the tool on the clipboard palette or pressing the Ctrl and V keyboard combination. So I will click the simple paste option, and as you can see, a copy of the data was created to the new area. Before I continue with explaining how moving cells works, let me mention this. Notice that around the range that I copied, there is a dashed line. As long as this dashed line is visible, I can paste again this range. For example, I will click on cell A19 and I will press Ctrl V on the keyboard. As you can see, I once again pasted the same data that I copied before. That means I can reproduce the data as many times as I want once I have copied them. But this dashed line can go away very easily. I will press Escape on the keyboard and notice that this dashed line has disappeared, and I can no longer paste it. It will also disappear if I choose to edit a cell, double click on a cell and try to edit it, then it will also disappear. I will click on any cell and notice that in the keyboard palette the paste option is disabled. The same thing if I right click on the cell, the paste options are not available anymore. I need to copy something again and then the paste options will be available. This is something in Excel that you should keep in mind. If there isn't a dashed line around the selected range, I can't paste it. Now the process of moving data works in a similar way. If I want to move data, again I first need to select the range of interest. I will again select, for example, range A5 to M8. I will right click, and this time instead of selecting the option to copy the data, I will choose the cut option. I could also click on the cut tool from the clipboard palette, or I could use the Ctrl and X keyboard combination. So Ctrl C for copy and Ctrl X for cut. After I make the cut, again with the same logic as I did before for the copy, I will select the cell where I want to move my data. Let's say, for example, cell A25. I will right click and I will choose the symbol paste. So now the data was removed from range A5 to M8 and went to the new range starting from cell A25. So to sum it up with two words, copy and paste to copy my data, cut and paste to move my data. The shortcuts are Ctrl C for copy, Ctrl V for paste, and Ctrl X for cut, and again Ctrl V if needed to paste the data. In this case, when I first used Ctrl X, it's to move the data. I advise you to learn by heart these shortcuts because in real life, not only with Excel, but generally with the computer, you will need them daily. So try to copy and move your data with these key combinations, and gradually you will learn them by heart anyway. Now, copying and moving data to different worksheets or even different workbooks doesn't have any more complexity from what you saw. The process is the same. Let's say I want to copy the range A19 to M22 to the worksheet London. I will select the data range. I will right click and select copy. Now I will go to the London worksheet and right click on cell A6 for example and use the simple paste option. Let me adjust the weight of my column so that you can properly see the result. If I wanted to move the data, then I would just need to use the cut option on the selected range and then paste it instead of copy and paste. Let me remind you here that in Excel, the entire file is called a workbook, and a workbook contains various worksheets inside. So the process of copying this and moving is the same when I want to copy or move data to a different workbook. For example, let's say I want to move the data of these cells to another open workbook. I will select the range A6 to M9. I will right click and select cut in this case, since I want to move and not simply copy the data. Now from the taskbar, I will go to the other open workbook. I will right click, let's say, on cell A15, and I will select the paste option that I have been using so far. Now the data have been moved from one workbook to another. I will also adjust the width of my columns once again for a better view here. And let me also make a reference to a previous lesson and arrange the two workbooks. I will go to the View tab, and from the Window palette, I will click on the Arrange All tool, and I will select the option Vertical here. As you can see, the data does not exist anymore in the London worksheet in the branches workbook. They have been moved to the workbook days and months. The process is similar if I wanted to copy the data, where I would just need to use the copy and paste instead of cut and paste as I just did. As you briefly saw, there are many different pasting options. I have only showed you the simple paste. I will select the range A15 to A18 for example. I will right click on the selected data range and I will click copy. I will go a little lower in the worksheet and I will do a right click. Here you can see how many different pasting options are available, and moreover, if I click on the arrow in the option Paste Special, you can see even more options appearing. All this and much more will be discussed in the advanced level courses for those of you who will choose to proceed. For now, what you should focus on is to be able to do a simple copy and paste or cut and paste of cells either in the same worksheet or in a different worksheet or even in a different workbook. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.